Okay. Hello, everybody. We're just getting back into the swing of things with another Scrim Gym this week. I think you guys are slated. I think you guys are slated to be extremely strong in this game. I think their comp was bad. The fact that we got the first pick Misfortune and we still got to pick up Leona. We picked up the early Misfortune Leona. They didn't pick up Morgana. The fact that they picked Syndra and then immediately picked the Caitlyn ruined the ability to flex at bot lane, meaning that like for this team, evidently it's a one. It could theoretically have been a 1, 2, 3, 4 way flex between top, mid, AD carry, and support. Um, but I really don't realistically think that Syndra brings all that much to a team as a support. Syndra's power really comes from her ability to delete backliners. And in this comp, that's extremely difficult. She can't one-shot Leona. She can't one-shot Olaf. She can't one-shot Darius. She can't one-shot Echo. The only person she can really try to one-shot is Misfortune, but Misfortune Leona in lane, I think, easily steps over Caitlyn Syndra in terms of early game priority, um, just by their ability to abuse Syndra in laning phase as a support. I think the Darius and Shen matchup is pretty straightforward, um, as long as you don't get overwhelmed by the grasp, the shield bash, the Q damage. It's pretty easy to pick up kills in that lane, or at least pick up priority. Um, the mid lane matchup I think is honestly the biggest skill matchup in the game this match I should say. Your ability to avoid ranged harass Echo is really going to be the deciding factor here. If you can't dodge, hello,
Hi there.
hi, you're late.
I'm a few minutes late, yeah.
Okay. So we
My family
basic
may be late, sorry.
so if you want to look at draft, it's in the DBG, and I'm already recording. We kind of draft diffed them, to be honest. Like,
I see Skarner, Ari,
well, it's
Kaylin, and
like
Syndra support.
I explained it a little bit to the recording. They first picked Syndra. Syndra at base value has a three-way flex between top, mid, and AD carry at the moment. That immediately followed up with a Caitlyn pick, showing that it's either mid top or I guess it ended up being support because they're a weird team. But by doing what they did, they conceded Misfortune. We got Misfortune. They picked Syndra Kate, ruined their counter pick. We pick up Leona Olaf, right? At that point in time, they should have picked up Morgana. They didn't pick up Morgana. They picked up Skarner. So, like,
Yikes.
at basically every turn of this draft, they had an opportunity to do something good, and they basically just failed every single time. So,
They got Draft Kingdomed.
a little bit, I would say, a little bit. But we're getting into game now. Are you watching stream?
I am. I'm watching a stream.
Okay. So, things to note about going into this game is Shen's got Domination Tree, which means he has Ultimate Hunter, which means that late game his ult will be 24% shorter cooldown than it would be normally. That's a pretty big deal, something to remember. Skarner is Predator, pretty self-explanatory. Arya's Glacial. What that means is that Arya isn't bringing as much damage to the team comp as she theoretically could, because she's opting to go more utility, more pick. I would find it really hard to convince me. Like their team is a pick comp, right? They have Ari, they have Syndra, they have Skarner, they have Shen. It is a very stereotypical pick comp, but it's really hard to run a pick comp versus Olaf Echo. That's a really hard to execute situation. Um, we noticed that Syndra did end up going for the electrocute. It's really her only option. Syndra as a champ is played for one shot squishies. That's like basically the entirety of her play. And it's really hard to one shot squishies on a team with one squishy you can one shot, right? You can't one shot Darius, you can't one shot Olaf, you can't one shot Leona, you can't one shot Echo as long as he's level 6 or higher. The only person you can really try to one shot here is as Syndra is Misfortune.
I don't
So
really think they play Syndra to one-shot anyone here. I think they're trying to get the backline disrupt on
on Jax,
MF.
yeah.
But even then, I think there's a lot better champions for Syndra than or
Wait,
for that than Syndra. especially
Yeah,
considering like going into this lane you have Leona MF. I mean, Syndra can disengage the Leona, but her E is a relatively high cooldown, especially considering it got nerfed a couple patches ago by 2 seconds at all ranks. So Leona's going to be able just to, throw the E if Syndra presses her own E and knocks away the Leona, then Leona's E is going to be back up again, and she just gets to do it for free.
yeah.
Um,
Ultimately, here, Syndra has one way to disengage, and Leona has more than one way to engage. Meaning, as long as Toomsby doesn't use all of his ins on a single shot and then gets disrupted, it generally shouldn't, like, the Syndra pick shouldn't be very effective. Um, because Leona is just 10 times a better engaged champ than Syndra is disengaged champ.
yeah. In this lane though, maybe it's tough because you have a lot of things that you want to cleanse on that team, like Syndra Stun, Ari Charm,
Taunt,
Shen Taunt.
yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, Syndra's gonna be trying to one-shot you. You may want to take the exhaust, and I like Leona's does really well with Ignite. But I think in this case, I would have maybe taken the exhaust on Leona because exhausting that Syndra in the combo, now all she is just a stun.
Okay. Probably a pause coming up here.
Yep, it's taken them a second or two to notice that their Skarner. Yep, there it is.
Okay. That was kind of weird. Um,
Yeah.
I, I mean, the other thing I know going into this game that you weren't able to hear is that Influence spec'd this game into, um, I forget the one. What is the word or the rune? Give me a second. Yeah,
Ultimate
he
Hunter,
spec'd into Relentless Hunter. So he's gonna have,
Relentless Hunter.
yeah, and then
Okay, so
he's gonna be
he's
able
looking
to
to roam
roam
then.
like a madman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has TP. He has Relentless Hunter. Ari, let's see what Ari picked up. She went Glacial, obviously. She went Ultimate Hunter. So she's going to be safer in lane. He's going to be harder for Influence to kill her. But that's not really Influence's endgame here. His endgame is to pick up Q levels, spam clear waves, and roam.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this bot lane, Syndra might be easier to get on. She can only, E once. That you have Leona and you have, Echo trying to dive onto her. A well placed W would really, make the gank. Plus, I mean, you're not really going to be killing Ari in lane as soon as you hit 6, which is like Echo's starting to get stronger. She's going to have, 3 dashes to get away from you.
Oak, like, oh my, okay, took an extra auto. They're clever, but yeah, Darius's ability to punish Shen early game is paramount to playing this lane. So as long as you keep that up and hopefully minimize the amount of ability he has to trade back onto, then this is a pretty easy lane for Darius to take by the
Yeah.
the wheel.
We see a 3 camp from Olaf, it looks like. Looking to go into the Skarner's jungle early, maybe catch him out on the Gromp here. Um, I mean, that's pretty solid. You have bot prio. Bot should be walking right about now. Looks like Tombs is starting to move, but you end up just, going your separate ways here.
Yeah, I mean,
Scuttle's about to spawn.
the one thing those kind of interactions are good for is for setting up tempo, setting up control of the game, setting up pacing. So I like those plays.
Yeah. Plus, getting, vision on the jungler helps your lanes play a little bit safer. I mean, bot lane knows that they can't, just perma shove. They know Skarner's on the bot side. Though, since you did take bot Scuttle, he could transition to the top side and take that one. So Darius might want to play a little bit safer. We don't have any wards down. We don't really see Skarner on the map. Taking a hard
Okay, we see.
trade, but we get the gank
Okay.
coming in. It's nice. Probably just go for Syndra. Oh, we turn on Kaylin. Maybe go for Syndra in this scenario because she's not going to have, the movement. And Tombs, don't be afraid to, flash Q stun or flash E or just don't be afraid to hold your sums, especially in a kill lane like MF Leona. Um, you can probably build an advantage just by busting her sums because her sums are a lot more valuable than yours at this point in the game because she's an early game squishy champ, no mobility, real easy to kill.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hey, we're doing a VOD review right now.
Oh, sorry.
So the thing I'm seeing watching you play top lane here, Clubber, is that I sort of see um, just trading patterns that are really easy for Shen to abuse. And so just now Shen almost threatened to kill you because you didn't sort of put the respect on his ability to trade combo burst you with taunt into Q auto with grasp. So and then he ended up forcing your flash. So you have to like Shen's a tank, but you have to put respect on his ability to do about 20% of your health early game in a quick combo, especially if he hits all of his skills plus has all of his runes optimized for it. Um, because you can lose. You can lose that lane as Darius if you don't play around Shen's burst very well. And that involves, auto into W resets, that includes hitting the Q, that includes, trying to minimize the effect of taunt, etc. The one thing you could have done here, honestly, is because your game is more. Oh my god, these ricochets bot. Because your game top more or less is dictated by your ability to move, you honestly probably. I know you spec into sorcery, and I know why you picked up celerity and Nimbus Cloak. That's that's a fine pick in lanes where you could potentially go even or lose if you don't play it right. If you want to pick up unflinching for the tenacity, they changed that a couple patches ago, I want to say. That would also be pretty valid in my opinion, especially in lanes or games like this, where there's a lot of potentially immobilizing spells. Okay, we're seeing a gank mid. Okay, where's the charm? Oh, okay, good dodge.
Good
Oh,
dodge on the charm.
oh, beautiful,
Excellent turnaround.
beautiful. I knew you were gonna do that. The E-auto. Oh, that's Shenton. Oh, Clubber couldn't pull him. That would have been huge. Once the taunt went through, or once the ult went through, though, that was the end of that fight. Oh, and then he TP's top. That's
Very cool.
insane. Okay, you guys just got unrivaled, right? The problem with top lane is that if you play something like Darius, you take Ghost, you give up teleport. If Shen gives up his teleport like he just did for free to get back to lane because he ulted somebody and nothing came out of it other than saving his teammate's life, you get to abuse that. That's when you're effectively winning that situation. Yes, abuse him if he doesn't have taunt. That's a good pattern. Oh, beautiful Clubber. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's like you could hear me. Really good there. Really, really good. And guess what? You killed him right after he TP'd back to lane. Guess what? He's his Shin Shin now. What's he gonna do? He has to walk all the way back up. Oh, okay, he picks you up here.
So
Okay, no,
we
no vision there. Do you have ward up?
we
You have
know that
ward
the
up.
Skarner died, so we transitioned that right into Dragon. Good job. You had bot prio. Bot was looking pretty solid. Syndra got poked out. Um, your bot's gonna have to reset here. If I were you guys, staying on with your amount of gold is a little greedy. You have 2K in the bank. You're gonna have to. This would be a great wave to back on because it's not a cannon wave. The thing about bot lane versus top lane in terms of wave management is you want to back when there's no cannon rather than when there is one because two people can clear a cannon rather efficiently versus it's a small wave, they get a little bit of damage on the tower. However, if there's a cannon there and they clear your cannon,
Oh,
they have a good amount of time that they're actually autoing your tower.
that's Caitlyn Flash. That's Syndra Flash. That's Syndra Exhaust. That's a really big trade.
Tombs Herbie through the ether, not afraid to use your flash on Leona, playmaker. It was a good attempt. Unfortunately, she flashed, but again, that's worth it. If she didn't flash, she dies there.
Oh yeah, I mean that play
Try to-
basically just traded one flash for two flashes and an exhaust. That's huge.
Yes, it's a very good play. Actually looks like Inland's TP'd. I'm not sure if that was a TP to the ward that's over by their blue buff jungle.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was.
Okay. But, you know, using your sums for her sums is not a bad idea, especially considering she's, non-mobile, squishy target. Um, Jax looks like he's reset here. If Jax is walking back in the lane like that, you might be able to look for, initiation. Just because Jack's going to be coming back, he's going to be as strong or stronger than the enemy, since he just got a fresh back in, and then you going in while he's out of vision, um, is that they're not going to expect it. But if he walks in vision and then you try and go, they're going to, they see him and they're backing off. So we
Yeah.
see Olaf doing the Herald. We know Skarner was on the bot side. Very good. Paying attention to your jungler and transitioning that into objectives. Excellent.
Jungler DC'd again. Is that going to be another pause? You picked up Herald there? Yeah.
We picked up Herald there because he was on the bot side. Their jungler has yet to reconnect or no pause so far.
Okay, he
just
just reconnected.
reconnected.
Didn't even pause. Okay, yeah. If I see Complex walking into top lane the same level as their top laner, that's really good for us. But wow, that's pretty amazing.
I mean, we've built the 2-level lead on the Darius
Yeah.
because of Shen losing so much CS. I mean, you shoved a huge wave under tower. All right, let's see at the items. Hextech Revolver going proto first.
Even the XP on level 7 is rather close. They're both in the late stages of level 7, as opposed to being like one of them just hit level 7, one of them is the end of level 7. That's really, I mean, you basically doubled his CS at this point in the game, Clever. You're okay. Good cleanse. Yeah, that allowed you to survive there. Wow. I mean, this is a wow. I mean, okay. Okay, you missed the pull. That's okay. You pressured him.
So Jax, you staying in lane here, bot lane. You're gonna have to play this really safe. If you get stunned by the Syndra, you're just kind of dead because you don't have exhaust. You're cooking some potions with your refillable, which is all right, but you're still half HP. If she hits QER, she has lost chapter. She might just delete your ass. Not to mention, there's Kaylin, who's also going to be looking for the Q. Looks like you guys are actually trying to bait this out for a gank. Complex is on the bot side. You got Drag coming up.
Yeah, the mistake their influence was simply just a mistake of applying respect to the Ahri. You have to time the spells. You have to know that she is Flash and Ignite and GLP up, and that means that she can one-shot you if you're not giving her space. So that was.
So Complex, you see them like all three here, and you don't have, your ADC. It unfortunately cost you to use your summoners. Making sure we're thinking about numbers advantage and stuff like that. Your ADC just got pushed out of lane. Obviously their bot lane's there. At best case scenario, it's going to be a 2v2. You saw Skarner clearing the ward. You went on Skarner. That's guaranteed 3v2. Drag's coming up. Actually, Drag just spawned. So remember, we want to make sure that we're healthy for Dragon. We want to back at about 40 seconds for Drag. Good kill in the bot lane. Can we get more than that? Looks like we will. Nope, Shen R. But anyway, as I was saying, we want to make sure, bot lane included, bot lane and jungle especially, you want to back when there's about 40 seconds on the drag timer to spawn. If you do that, then you'll be approaching the dragon pit about 20-ish at around 20 seconds. You get 20 seconds to set up vision on it. Good pick in the jungle. I don't know why he greeted on the back there.
There's no reason for him to do that. Shen teleporting top at 13 minutes into the game, kind of a big mistake. He's trying to catch a wave, but honestly, like, at this point, he's so far behind.
Yeah. What I want to say, Complex, is you used good R on the Echo. Oh, you could have kept going there, I think. You might have gotten her.
Oh, that was so close. Oh, one auto. Oh.
We'll probably break that drag play down at the end of the game. I think you were a little low there, especially with your skirmish. Plus, you didn't have flash from earlier, and that goes back to resetting around good flash pull. Good flash
Oh,
from Tombs.
there's the dunk. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's a kill.
I like your guys' aggression here. You guys are getting a lot more confident in your play, and you're actually able to make, these aggressive sort of plays around the map. And I think a lot of the
Oh,
times breaking
wait,
the barrier.
wait. Ah. Oh, Ari
Oh,
bleeds
Mario will
out.
just bleed out.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I think for you guys, knowing when to make an aggressive play, for example, Tombs, you're not afraid to use Flash right now on Leona. I think that's very good.
oh
I
my
know you came to me
God.
the other day and asked me what champions I would pick for solo queue, and I told you, Leona, Karma, um, are really good. You're starting to see why Leona's really good. She's a playmaker. If you are, strong and ahead, you can just pretty much run away with the entire game.
Clubber is, honest to God, playing team deathmatch in this game. Your Clubber's pretty scary. Clubber has Trinity Force. That's a huge spike on Darius, especially if he gets it ahead. Um, and he gets it pretty far ahead when his enemy laning opponent has two components of two different items, and he has an entire Trinity. Okay.
Excellent R
Ooh,
Tombs.
beautiful. You guys,
Just a huge overlapping combo. Jax, make sure you let Tombs, get his Targon's passive off. I've been playing support on another account recently, and I never quite understood how frustrating it was when your ADC would never let you use your Targon's procs, and well, I started finding that out a lot more. So make sure we're letting the support actually get their Targon's procs off. Plus, they need it for words anyway.
I mean, let's update. Remember, a lot of gold, we repeatedly highlight a lot of your gold lead in these games comes from CS. Right now, you're 3.2k gold up. That is a, what, 50 farm difference in top, 25 farm difference in jungle, even farm mid, 15 farm difference in on AD carry, and like 10 farm difference on support. All of those golds differences in aggregate make a huge difference. Okay. Oh my. This could. Uh, okay. I I saw the potential for that there. I won't blame you. Realistically, you just have to respect. How did Shen get there? Shen didn't ult, so he was already there. Give me a second.
So that was a lot of potential for that fight. Uh, for
Yeah.
me, I felt like the Echo could have TP'd to that pink ward there. TP was available. If you TP'd to that and got there like right away, I think for sure that is an excellent fight for you guys, and you literally clean up 3-0.
Oh, I mean, yeah. When Darius hits 3-man Q, 3-man pull into Olaf Axe, you guys are putting out a lot of damage. It was just you're playing 2 versus 1. Neither of you really have tank items yet. Darius is only now beginning to get Spirit, and Olaf doesn't have Death Stance yet, and he is Warrior, so he's pretty squishy too.
Yeah, it looks like the Echo might be in trouble here. Blast Cone's available. Oh, it looks like what he will do is just Blast Cone over the wall. So we got Dragon spawning in about 50 seconds. Now in my lanes, personally, I would start to think about, maybe where can I get it back in? It actually looks like you'll pick up a Syndra kill.
Yeah, this Syndra pick is just so vulnerable for you guys to outplay her on the Misfortune Leona pick, and that's what you're doing, and that's, I mean, that's why so much. What's the actual gold difference in Valiant right now? The 80 carry gold difference is about 200, and the support gold difference is not that big. But the fact that there is a gold difference when the scores are so close. Farm, okay. Clubber killing everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you guys picked the Syndra. I can understand the Syndra pick, thinking like, oh, well, Leona's gonna try and E me. I can E her away, but at that point, I'm not sure why you just wouldn't pick Thresh.
Yeah.
Um, I think they tried to counter it like that and use that as a potential flex, maybe a cheese pick. But yeah, I mean, picking the Syndra there led the Shen to TP onto the Caitlyn. The
Kill
Caitlyn
the tower.
died. Skarner tried to come, but this all in all wasn't great.
Okay,
They ended up
hold on.
turning it into drag afterwards, which is good.
Okay, Invalid's big thing there. Let's see. Okay, you don't have Lich Bane. Lich Bane would enable you really to take the tower there. When Syndra was there alone and this tower is on 500 health, just focus on taking the turret first. If you don't kill her, you got a more valuable objective anyway. And worst, the best case scenario is you're able to take the turret and then kill her after. The part of why not taking tower there or not focusing the tower there is such a big mistake is because that tower basically played AD carry for Syndra, for Syndra there, and her ability to survive is entirely precedented on that tower's damage to you, forcing you to R, forcing you to, you only have a limited amount of time. So in those situations, towers are that low. Focus on taking the tower. If you get the kill afterwards, that's, you know, a bonus on top. You don't dive a tower if the tower doesn't have to be there. Is the takeaway. But you got away with it. It's okay. Huge chase down in the mid. Clubber doesn't have ult, but he does have pool. I mean, honest to God, this is a really bloody game for you guys. You're just... Does he bleed? He was really low. No, he got healed.
Probably doesn't. Oh,
Nah, he bleeds anyway.
He bled out.
Ooh,
This is looking like an excellent game for you guys.
yeah. The pathing on the inside route of the tower there was a little greedy. If they had more people alive and of threat, they probably could have killed you there, but you're just massive and they're not. But remember, if you weren't massive, that would be pretty greedy pathing.
So we're taking the Baron here, which could be a little bit of a risky play, but it doesn't seem they actually understand that you're taking the Baron.
Ari's bot.
But the one that you
Skarner's on
picked
top.
was Shen. He does have TP and R available, so you have to keep in mind that it's not really, a free Baron. If the Shen was to TP, it would still be a 5v5. Granted, you guys are up 7 kills on them, so, it probably still wouldn't be a very contested Baron. You probably could just win the 5v5 anyway and take Baron. But if the score is a little bit more even, that is a very risky Baron to take.
Yeah, one of the big mistakes they made there was one, obviously not having vision, but two, they were sending. Ari showed up on the bot side of the map there. If Shen does that, it's fine. Shen has TP, Shen has ult. Ari can't afford to do that. If Ari goes bot, when Ari is, one of the stronger people in the game, that's a pretty big error. And you guys rightly, abuse that. I mean, it looks like you guys are playing the mid game way better in terms of class, right? You're showing up to fights better, you're better farmed, you know, you're making better picks. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like this game, you guys are playing really well. There's some there's like some small errors here and there that could potentially have turned out bigger. For example, earlier the Echo didn't TP to the ward in the 2v3s. It could have been, a 3-0 for you guys. Instead, we traded two for no one. If Echo TP was available, which I'm pretty sure it was, that's just an easy collapse for the Echo. And that would have been ideal for you guys. And then, the not killing the tower versus trying to dive the Syndra. Clubber's taking a lot of damage from tower here. No, it looks like he'll get away. Nope, he'll actually go down here. So, I'm not entirely sure why we were taking tower. Maybe to preserve the minion wave so you could get the tower, but even still, you want to make sure that we're not trying to drop tower aggro by walking into their base. You want to walk out. You ended up giving away about 900 gold there. Complex will pick up the kill on Skarner and get out, it looks like. Very nice.
I mean, you guys cracked a turret mid. One person died. We gotta kill top. You rotated bot. You picked up a tower. Like, if the reason you guys are doing these things is because you're abusing the fact, okay, this person went top, okay, they have a weaker side because two people are here, not there. If you're playing the map and that's why you're picking these things up, that's really really good, and that's what it looks like. But
Granted, we don't know what comms are, so whether or not you're just there by chance and it happens to be working out in your favor, or you're truly trying to play the map like that, um, it makes the difference.
yeah, if you guys are doing this because you're playing the map, then it's really really solid play. Forcing the Ari ult there, pretty good. She's got ultimate hunters, so it's not a super long cooldown, but it's pretty big deal for the next 50 seconds is a safe estimate. Okay. Skarner just gets absolutely destroyed. You can't get to Jax at this point in the game with everybody so strong.
Yeah, I mean, you have an excellent frontline for him. You have Darius, Leona, Olaf. I mean, what can Skarner really do? Try and run past them? You have
We
influence on
saw
the
him
split
try.
push, which is nice. Yeah, we certainly saw him try. He died for it, but we have influence and Darius on the split push. Um, you guys already took one person down, so no one can really deal with Darius at this point.
Influence moving out of the side lane there was subtle, but it was a really big difference. You have Lichbane, you didn't have a wave to pressure that tower. Moving up to pressure mid and top inhib is a really good rotation. It's subtle, but it's good. Very good. Sometimes you have to acknowledge that you're not going to be able to side lane effectively. And that was the situation. You just couldn't do anything there yet.
So at this point in the game, I mean, you can't really pressure too much since the only thing left for them is their bot inhib and tower. Um, what you can do is start setting up around your objectives. Baron's in a minute, Dragon's in 3.
How did we get there? Okay,
Darius tried
this
to
is
split bot.
this again. This is what I talked about over there with the tower. This is really greedy pathing. Walking through this inside route when they have so many pick potentials. That's Can I move this up to current? That's really greedy pathing, for lack of a better word. You have to be careful about that kind of thing. I mean, because you guys easily win 5v5, 4v4, 3v3, whatever. But the only time you guys don't win is if they get to do like Ari Charm into Syndra Stun or something like that. Because, other than Complex, whoever gets hit by that probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Darius is
So
getting tankier now, but he's still not massive in terms of
yeah.
tank.
Fortunately for you guys, the one who picked up the shutdown on the Darius earlier though was Ari, and she's going the glacial build for Ari, which is significantly less damage. Um,
Yeah, the
at,
glacial
at
build
this
for Ari
point,
puts her into utility.
yeah, at this point, if she was going just the full damage Ari build, she could probably do a little bit more in this game for her team. But now she's resigned to utility, and it's not great for her. It's
It's
just like if you take an Ashe EDC and you put her um,
yeah.
going Triforce and then Black Cleaver, or no, Essence Reaver, Triforce build on Ashe. All she is then is an alt bot and not really an ADC.
Yeah, the weird thing is about this comp is that they picked the Syndra, they gave her Electrocute, let her go Ludens after support item. Like, it looks like they're trying to put their damage onto her and put their mid laner onto utility. I don't know why they just didn't pick a utility support and pick, Syndra or Ari full damage, because they don't really need utility at this point. But whatever. Um, the dive bot influence, if unless I was mistaken, you didn't have ult, and it looks like it came up soon after. It Sometimes it's just worth it to wait it out. If you did that to draw pressure, ensure the Baron, then you're the person without. You're one of the people without a shutdown. Maybe that's okay then. Maybe you didn't have to do it, but if your thinking was draw pressure away from the Baron to guarantee it, I understand the thinking, and that at least in principle could be right.
So we got Dragon coming up in a minute here. There's not much that they can do. Honestly, at this point, you make the great pick onto Skarner. I mean, his team just kind of watched him die.
Jax is
Huge
actually tearing
damage coming
apart
out from
Shen.
Jax.
Jax is tearing apart Shen, and when your misfortune can tear apart a Shen, then you know the
I mean,
game
the
is
guy
looking
went
really
like
hard.
not even one full armor item at this point in the
No.
game. He full bought Titanic.
Okay. Again, it looks like we overestimated just how tanky we really were in that situation, but okay. Okay, great ult. Shen is still super squishy. Really
We're all
aggressive flash
flashing for.
forward.
At this point, it's pretty much winnable. Jax, I know
Yeah.
we've talked about.
Okay, there's still
Um,
a message from saying it was over.
okay. I
guys
know we
gotta
talked
enter,
about
right?
a lot of, don't flash forward, don't aggress like that because they can turn it around on you most of the time. But at that point, I mean, I'm not gonna flame you for that. The game was over. You were hitting the Nexus.
Okay, that was a good game, guys.
Yeah, excellent game.
Every one of the little flubs we talked about on the way. So, okay, we're gonna join the call with you guys. Good job.